Hello, my little weirdos. Um, I have just become aware of on Saturday, the 14th, where the No Kings protest. Um, they had been planning to do it in D.C. where they normally would do it, not obviously by the parade route or anything. But apparently, in light of what the Republicans and Donald have done in LA, in California, bringing in the military, and actually were the ones that incited the violence. The only violence, if you can call it violence, up until the military showed up was some egg throwing at cop cars. Is that the correct thing to do? No. Is that a felonious act? No. They're eggs. They're pissed off that the military were brought in. When they started with the tear gas and the rubber bullets and the flashbang, well, what the F do you think is going to happen when you've got a bunch of people that are very upset about you dragging off their neighbors in unmarked cars by masked people who refuse to give you any information? And because of all of this, in light of it, in light of the fact that he's got so many troops amassing in DC as well as equipment, and from my own observation, the fact that he has these military soldiers sleeping in places that they're probably used to sleeping in at some point, um, but piled up on floors on top of each other, eating rations and shit. You know, if you're going to be doing some mission like this, they should at least be giving you cots and real fucking food, you know? You're not doing anything to protect America in this mission. Why the fuck are they being forced to eat and sleep like that when it's not necessary? He's spending millions and millions and millions of dollars for this parade, and he doesn't want to treat the soldiers kindly. So with all of this, the organizers are retracting just the Washington D.C. one because it's like we're going to be playing into their hands. They know it was being planned, and all the other ones across the nation are still a go, unless any of your local ones have, told the local citizens that it's not, or it's moved or something. But in general, they're all going, just not in DC. And it's more for the safety of the protesters and the optics of being the grown-ups between the two on the schoolyard. You know, the bullies would more than likely try to F with the kids just playing the game. You know? And that's not what we want. That's not the objection, or the object of the protests. You're going to completely null and void them in essence if we have any violence, which also makes me remember to tell you guys they've been accusing us since the April 19th or the 5th protests, that were paid actors and were paid at aggressors and all that. Remember, every accusation of them is a confession or an admission or a projection of what they're planning. Either if they've done that or they're planning it, because only those who are thinking or have done it or are thinking of doing something would think of shit like that. So, um, they keep saying, and they said on the last one, the 19th, they said they're paid. We don't want to give them any. They're setting up, and I myself am a little concerned if LA wasn't a dress rehearsal for DC on Saturday. I just I was concerned that this Apex Hammer crap with ICE was gonna mess with the New Jersey election, but nobody said that they knew anybody who didn't want to come, um, which is good because I was a little the thought had occurred to me like, mm, mm. And if anybody had said anything like that to me, I sure as hell first thing this morning would have been contacting my elected officials and to let them know that. But I didn't hear one person say it. So, and in fact, it seemed like nearly half our district, half our precinct, actually voted early. That's not even counting the mail-in ballots that were done. So, one more thing: if you're at a protest, if you hear like the organizer, because they usually let you know who the organizer is when you get there. If if an organizer if they say any I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. If any kind of violence or you hear a fight starting or people yelling or any kind of altercation occurring, just yell, sit down, protesters, sit down, and just sit down, even if it's next to you, because you need to be able to identify that I am doing nothing. I'm just sitting here. I'm sitting here, sitting on the ground. That's all I'm doing. So please be aware of that for any protests that you're at. If any of the organizers or anything else have known about know about that, they'll 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 say sit down. If you hear any of them yelling sit down, look around. If there's something violent going on, sit your ass down because you do not want to be associated or recognized as that has nothing to do with me. I can't have anything to do with me. I'm just sitting here. So please be aware, because it won't only keep yourself safe, but it'll keep your fellow protesters safe. Um, Now, if somebody is appearing to look like a fellow protester, but they start, starting something or instigating something or trying to get or yelling something that just doesn't feel right to you, and they're trying to get you to do it too. If they're trying to get you to do something that they're doing, it could be a good chance that they might either be a misguided protester or a plant, somebody that is deliberately going. That's why I said earlier they are getting people to look like and act like they're a protester, but somewhere during the protest starting something and getting others to come start it with me. Because in the end, that person will be like, they knew they were in there for instigating, so they won't get in trouble. They were sent to it. So if the Republicans sent those people, if they signed up for whatever, then your best option is just sit your ass down. Just sit your ass down. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can think of. Just, it's supposed to rain. I saw a couple posts and stuff, and I checked, and the projected, they have 10-day forecasts of weather. The projected weather for Washington, D.C. is about 82 degrees and a 65% chance of showers. I feel sorry for the military, for the soldiers that are going to be stuck marching in that and standing in that. But it'll piss Donnie off and disappoint him. They better buy some ketchup, extra ketchup, for him to throw at the wall because after all the money and all the flack he's gotten for this, if it fizzles, literally fizzles, you're gonna see me on here Sunday morning just busted a gut. That would most certainly be God saying, no, 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 no. You don't get a parade like that, Donald. Well, you saw and you heard Little Miss Smudgy. Apparently it is, scratch my belly, I'll act like I like it, and then 2 seconds later I'm gonna grab your hand with my claws. Anyway, you have a good evening. It's gonna be a nice, pretty evening, so they still have not trimmed my shrubs, my hood hedges over there. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.